Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to talk about something we're all taught not to do, talking to strangers. And look, I get it, but it turns out those little, seemingly throwaway conversations are actually packed with meaning. They're way more important than you probably think.
So let me tell you this story from author Kio Stark. She's standing on a storm drain in New York City, and this old man, who she says looks like a wizard, points down and gives her this totally bizarre warning. Don't stand there. You might disappear. It's absurd, right? But she moved.
And that's really the big question here, isn't it? The whole thing was weird, but it left her feeling wonderful. The man was just so delighted that he had saved her, and in that one little moment she felt noticed, she felt acknowledged, like she was worth saving. That brief, odd connection kicked off this whole journey for her.
Yeah, that one moment actually sparked an obsession. For the next 7 years, Kio documented every conversation she had with strangers. She was trying to figure out what was really going on in those little interactions. And what she uncovered was something genuinely beautiful and profound.
Okay, but before we dive into all the good stuff, we have to talk about that invisible wall we all put up. Why are we so scared, or at least hesitant, to just talk to people we don't know? Well, from the time we're little kids, we're basically trained to see strangers as a potential threat. And look, being cautious is smart, of course, but the reality is, most strangers are not dangerous. We just feel uneasy because we have zero context for them, so our brains kind of just default to fear.
And this leads to a really fascinating social rule called civil inattention. You've totally done this. In a lot of cultures, especially in the US, it's our default setting in public. You make brief eye contact to acknowledge someone, that's the civil part, but then you quickly look away to give them their space, that's the inattention. It's this delicate little dance of being polite while respecting privacy.
And this really gets to the heart of small talk. When you say something like, "It's a beautiful day," the actual information is pretty useless, right? We can all see the weather. But the social meaning is huge. What you're really saying is, hey, I see you. I acknowledge your existence. It's like building a tiny, temporary bridge between two people.
So if it's that simple, why don't we do it more? Well, because our brains are lazy. They love shortcuts. We see someone and boom, we instantly file them away into a category. Man, woman, old, young, friend, or stranger. It's super efficient, sure, but it's also a fast track to bias, and it stops us from ever seeing people as actual individuals.
Okay, so we've talked about why we don't do it. Now let's get to the good part, the why we should. What are the amazing things that happen when we decide to push past that fear and actually break through that invisible wall?
Through all her research, Kio Stark basically boiled it down to 3 incredible benefits we get from these encounters. These little unexpected pleasures, real emotional connections, and moments that are truly liberating.
So that first one, liberation, is huge. The moment you choose to see someone as an individual person instead of just a category, you're not just seeing them differently, you're actually freeing yourself. You're stepping outside of your own biases and opening the door to a much more real connection. And this isn't just some feel-good idea. It can literally be a survival strategy. There's an American researcher who travels all over the world, often alone, and her #1 rule in any new place is this: get just one stranger to see her as a real person, because that one single connection can completely change how the rest of the community sees her.
The second big benefit is something sociologists call fleeting intimacy, and that's exactly what that story at the beginning was about, that warm, fuzzy feeling Kio got from the man at the storm drain. It's a quick moment of closeness that has real emotional weight, even if it only lasts for 30 seconds.
You know, it's kind of wild, but research shows we sometimes communicate better with total strangers than we do with our closest friends or family. Why? Because with a stranger, we start with a blank slate. We tell them the whole story, we explain all the context, we assume nothing. With people we love, we often just expect them to read our minds, which, as you probably know, can lead to all sorts of problems.
All right, I hope you're convinced. Talking to strangers, it's a good thing. But how do you actually do it without feeling like a total weirdo? Let's break down some super simple, practical ways to get started.
Here are 5 really low-risk ways to make a connection, and we'll go through a few of them. Honestly, it can all start with something as easy as making eye contact and just offering a little smile.
A really great technique to try is called triangulation. The idea is that it's not just you and a stranger in a vacuum. There's a third thing, something you can both see and comment on. Maybe it's some cool street art, or someone yelling about something on a corner, or even just someone wearing really fantastic shoes. You make a comment about that third thing, and bam, you suddenly have a shared experience to talk about.
Another super easy one is just noticing something and giving a compliment. And shoes are a fantastic, super neutral place to start. I mean, who doesn't like talking about their cool shoes? It's a simple, non-threatening way to open that door to a conversation.
Oh, and you've definitely seen this one in action, the dogs and babies principle. It can feel a little awkward to just start talking to a stranger, right? But it feels totally normal to talk to their dog or make a funny face at their baby. The pet or the child acts like a little social bridge, a perfect excuse to connect with the person. And the last technique, well, it's the most vulnerable, but it's also the most rewarding. It's called disclosure. If you're feeling a connection, try sharing something true and a little personal about yourself. It's really amazing how often people will meet your vulnerability with their own, and you can create a moment of genuine, real connection.
So now it's your turn, because this is about way more than just killing time with small talk. It's about changing the whole script of your day. This right here is the heart of it all. Every single time you reach out and connect with a stranger, you're creating a beautiful, unexpected interruption in the routine of life. You're injecting a little moment of humanity and connection into a day that might not have had one.
We spend so much time and energy teaching our kids all the rules about strangers. But what if we spend a little more time teaching ourselves? What if we challenged our own suspicions and decided to make a little more space for connection in our own lives?
So I'll leave you with this to chew on. By deciding to see individuals instead of just categories, by creating these little moments of fleeting intimacy, what kind of beautiful interruptions are you going to make in your world today?